All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another episode of The Mix Behind the Mic. Special guest today, Rachel from PH Design, in the business now 4 years, specializing in wedding signage and design, over 100 weddings under her belt, and we're excited to hear how an X-ray tech with power tools turned entrepreneur in the wedding business. Rachel, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excited to have you here. So, we're excited to get you on. We love doing different guests who come on and talk about their business and their take and what they love and are into in the wedding business. So, get us started. Let's start maybe from the beginning of the X-ray tech to power tools, if you will, or start from the beginning.
Yeah, so I've been an X-ray tech for 11 years now, and now I'm a cool business owner.
Okay. So, do we go right from the Marry Me marquee to start, or
Yeah.
where's the story start us?
Yeah, so that's my favorite story to tell.
Okay.
Everybody who knows me very well, they've all heard this story.
Story 100 times?
Yeah, 100 times. But yeah, so 4 years ago on New Year's Eve, my cousin Dana, her boyfriend at the time, reached out to me and he wanted big marquee light letters to propose to her on the rooftop of their apartment
Okay.
building. And I called everywhere. Everywhere was all rented out. It was like a week before New Year's Eve,
Okay.
last minute. And I was like, you know what? Let's go to Home Depot and get some plywood and let me just build them myself.
And are you normally a builder?
Well, they call me Bob the Builder now, but
Okay. All right.
no, but when I bought my first house, I was doing a lot of house projects, like all the power tools were out. I was sawing.
You're like all in for it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
watching YouTube videos, learning how to do stuff. I've always had a thing for like graphic design, so like kind of like I don't know, 2 and 2 kind of go together. Interior design, I'm really into. So yeah, I was like, let me go to Home Depot, build the light letters. So I went to Home Depot. Everyone was, you walk in Home Depot as a girl and they're like, do you need help?
Right.
And I'm like,
You're like, and you're talking to a guy that's like, I am not Bob the Builder. I am the least. And like my dad, my whole life was always like, you got to learn this stuff. And I was always
Yeah.
like, Dad, I'll just pay someone. And
yeah.
luckily, I've just always paid
Yeah,
someone.
I'm
but
a
like, I'm
total
not a builder.
DIY girly.
I'm the total opposite.
I'll watch a YouTube video and try to do it myself. Maybe if I can't do it myself, I'll ask for help, but I always try to first. But yeah, anyway, so I went to Home Depot. I cut out the light letters with a jigsaw, put some string lights on the back of them, set them up on the rooftop, and yeah, it was a successful marry me proposal. Dana and Nick got engaged. It was my very first event. And then after that, I had a bunch of friends reach out to me.
Stop. At that night, before building, are we already like the mind's going that you are?
No idea.
At this point, you're no idea at this point. Okay, that's what I want. Yeah, keep going.
Had no plans of starting my own business. I just bought a house at the time. I was working at the hospital, and I was working at 2 hospitals at the time. And yeah, so I had a couple friends reach out to me. They were like, we want this spelled out for this, and we want this spelled out for that. Can you make numbers for our friend's, 30th birthday and this and that? So I was like, all right, yeah, like, let's just do it. So I built the whole alphabet, times like 3. I have like 5-letter M's, like
Sure, I get it.
all the vowels. I have multiples of.
Marry me's got 2 M's already. So
Yeah. So I had my electrician come over and he taught me how to do all the wiring on the back of it. So on the back of the light letters. So I do all the wiring and electric for all of them myself too.
So you had a guy come once and now you do them all yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he just showed me how to put SPT2 wire in sockets. And
I don't even know what that is, but go ahead. Keep going.
What light bulbs to use. And
Okay.
I just did it. So yeah, I do all the wiring on the back of the light letters myself too. And then after that, my business just blew up. And I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Do you have a storage unit, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple.
That was my first thought.
They're very large. And then after the light letter business blew up, I was doing there was weekends where I was doing like 12 light letter events in one weekend. Like
That's crazy.
it was crazy where I couldn't keep up. My friends and family were helping me. Then one thing led to another, and I started doing balloons to go with the light letters. People wanted balloons, so I started doing balloon installs. Then everybody wanted photo walls. The whole photo wall thing started becoming a
Sure.
trend for showers, birthdays, all that kind of stuff. So I started doing photo walls, and then I was asked to do a seating chart for somebody's bridal shower. And I was like, okay, well, if I can do a seating chart for a bridal shower, I can do a seating chart for a wedding. So then I started doing big seating charts for weddings. And then I bought a CO2 laser. I have a Thunder laser. It's called the Thunder Nova 63.
Okay.
It's pretty badass. It's the size of a car, a small car.
Okay.
And it cuts out all of the acrylic, cuts out my light letters now. It does a lot of really cool stuff. It engraves all the things
That's awesome.
for all of the acrylic signage. So now I have packages that start at $5,000, partial design, full design, other small packages. And yeah, it's a full wedding and event design business. And 4 years now, I've done some pretty cool events. And
I'm gonna get into that, and I love that you are literally the same as me, where I had no interest. Not that I didn't have interest, I just never thought I'd be doing this.
yeah,
And at the time, I was like, I was 21, and I'm like, I'll make some extra side money. This will be like a part time, and it just kind of kept
yeah.
snowballing that I just turned it into something.
Yeah, it's no longer a hobby. It's a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
full-time job, and I'm at the hospital like 1 or 2 days a week.
Oh,
So,
I wasn't gonna ask that, but I was thinking that. So you
mhm.
cut back hospital to do this more.
Yeah,
So
in the
that's cool.
beginning, I was working full-time between both hospitals, X-ray tech and CAT scan, and I left my one hospital job to do my business because it was just getting too much on the weekends and
I love, and I'm always blunt and say that, like, we have a whiteboard up there and there's things I'm going to talk about when we're on the pod, but we write all these things down. And I just realized something that's massive to me that we didn't write down. And correct me if I'm wrong, but we met at Gina's wedding, right?
we met at Gina's wedding, yeah.
Okay. So shout out to Gina,
Yeah.
who I put her in the Hall of Fame of like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love bride. She was just
Yeah.
awesome. And like, and I've been trying to get her on here
Mm.
as a like post bride, come tell your experience kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. And she just had a baby. So again, shout out to
Yeah.
them. But I'm thinking of, obviously we met at that wedding, and
Yeah.
like there was such a massive spread of things you did at her wedding that
Mhm.
is essentially when we started talking and kind of connecting about stuff.
Yeah. Mhm.
So real quick, just talk to me about what you did for her wedding, because, and sometimes with the pod, like when we do clips and stuff, sometimes
Yeah.
it's cool that we'll like throw a picture up there
Mhm.
of like Gina's wedding, for example. So
Yeah.
what was her setup, or
Yeah,
she did?
Gina and I have been friends for years. We used to work at Joyce Leslie together back in the day. It's funny. But yeah, I did a full wedding event signage package for her wedding. Seating chart, table numbers, welcome sign, bar signs, cigar bar signs, like all the things,
Her
the little
wedding
details.
was epic, unforgettable.
Mhm.
And like when I think of her wedding, I just picture him dipping her in front of your stuff,
And the
my lights,
sparklers
and
and
the
the lights.
sparklers.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
our combination together
Yeah.
made that picture perfect, if
Yeah,
you will.
and it's nice working with DJs too. I have very good connections with a lot of DJs because when we go set up our light letters, they're usually in front of the DJ booth.
Right.
So that's where I get connected with,
Sure.
all the DJ friends that I have now, because it's nice. A lot of people like the light letters in front of their dance floor, in front of the DJ. It kind of like, lights up the whole dance floor. Their guests love dancing around the light letters. It's just like, even if like somebody doesn't get a wedding and design package for their wedding, if you're not really into all of the signage and you kind of want to keep it simple, a lot of people just book the light letters if you want that one wow factor
Right.
for your wedding, to kind of like impress your guests a little bit and have something cool to take pictures in front of.
Right.
It's cool to have your last name spelled out in front of the dance floor. It lights up literally everything.
I even like different, like it could just say B&G for bride and groom, or
Yep.
Mr. and Mrs. that people want to get pictures in front of. It
Yeah.
doesn't even have to be a last
They
name.
get their initials.
Right.
We have the heart, a lot of people get like, I don't know,
Do you have the love?
A heart,
Do you have a love?
K. Yeah, love, yeah, everything, yeah.
All right, so let's ask you this. For your design packages that you have, do you have a bunch of like starter stuff and they pour their own creativity? And is a lot of the stuff like Bob the Builder over here,
Mhm.
is a lot of stuff custom or is a lot of stuff you have the basics and you build around that stuff or
Yes,
both?
so it kind of depends on what the client's looking for, so they will send me their inspo pictures. Obviously, everybody has inspo
Etsy,
pictures.
like
Yeah, Etsy,
walls.
Pinterest.
Pinterest was, I didn't mean Etsy, I meant
Yeah,
Pinterest.
and I tell a lot of my clients too now, go on Instagram, type in seating chart
Right.
inspo because Instagram is literally like a search engine now.
And the visuals for you to see is just
Yeah,
much
and you
easier.
can get so many ideas. So what my clients do is they send me their inspo pictures. I put together a whole mood board for them, color palette, fonts, logos, all of the things. And then a lot of, I want to say about 85, 90% of my clients are like, these are my inspo pictures. I trust you.
That's
Do
phenomenal.
your thing
That's amazing.
because they love my work. They know what I've done in the past. They see my work and they trust me.
There's nothing better than getting a referral
Yes.
that you have to sell yourself versus getting a referral where
Yes.
they already are interested and on board and like your work, and
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a good feeling.
100%, right? Yeah.
A lot of my clients, they know they want to book me before our phone call
Right.
because I send them my pricing guide. They know how much
Packages are.
the
Yeah,
packages are.
sure.
So it's like you're not wasting your time with a phone call, which is nice. But yeah, so they send me all of their info and then I kind of put together all of their digital mock-ups on the computer. So everything is put together digitally before the
Bob the Builder
the
gets
day
in
of.
there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they approve everything. It's exactly how they want it to look before I start building anything. And then once I start building, it's usually a couple weeks before their wedding and
Now, are you
all put together.
sending them pictures post prep before the wedding? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody really asks for them. Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
Surprisingly though, I kind of give them a timeline. After they put their deposit down, after our phone call, they put their deposit down, and then I send them digital mock-ups. But I stopped doing digital mock-ups right away. I do them, I want to say like 6 months in advance now. We start that process because I've had digital mock-ups.
27 things in a year and a half in advance.
Yeah, well, and I've had digital mock-ups where I've put together a whole entire proposal for somebody and, brides change their minds last
Sure.
minute, which there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that, you know what I mean? You see some new trend that you want or a new color scheme that comes out, they're like, "I wanna change everything." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine, let's do it," I work good under pressure, so
That's kind of wild. But I have a question just popped in my head. How long? Let me go back.
Mhm.
I think it's always been a year and a half for booking DJ photo video, or say.
Yeah.
I slightly hate that trendy the past 2 years. I'd say it's even lightly less, and now it's a little bit more of the 1 year out. But I'm
Yeah.
curious where they're booking DJ photo and video before they book you for the most part, I'd say.
Right.
So my question is, what are you seeing? Is 6 months norm? Is 1 year norm? Is what are your?
If I have the availability, I'll take a wedding less than 6 months.
No, but I'm saying.
But I do
most
have
people-
events, 2 years in advance.
That's what I'm asking.
Mhm.
So some are that long. Okay,
Yeah,
just
2 years.
curious.
I have 2027 is booking up very
Okay,
quickly.
that's amazing.
I have a wedding booked for the end of 2027 now too, so I'm sure I'll have 2028 brides reaching out soon.
That's awesome. I keep going back to how it should be that far out. Well, not to
Ye
mention like less stressful for people, getting better vendors the more you
Yeah.
book. And I don't know where this like trend of less than a year out, like it's January 21st today.
Mhm.
This probably won't air for like 2-3 weeks, but and half of our inquiries are still this fall.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of crazy to me as far as like, and listen, I'm here for it,
Mhm.
but it's also like a lot of our guys are booked. And again,
Right.
I'll be cocky and say our guys are great, but like, like no matter what you're booking for your wedding, the longer you wait, the best of the best at any business
Yeah.
is going to be booked. So I would love for people to get back into that 18-month, 24-month mark
Yeah.
of things.
And I've realized too, you know, with how much time and effort is put into every design package that I do, I've tried to, I think I'm going to cut down a little bit more this year too and do one wedding a weekend just so I can put my full time and
Right.
effort into every single wedding, you know what I mean? And not have to, so I can physically be there, you know what I mean? Um,
It's a lot.
yeah.
Listen, I mean, weekend warriors, we're well aware
Yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, because I have wonderful girls that come and help me that I hired for my events, you know, and I trust them, but it's just being there, you know,
Again, say less.
making sure everything is perfect.
So kind of great that it segues into my next question that I wrote. How do you balance demand, creativity, and staying true to your brand? And that's literally kind of everything we just talked about. Like,
With designing,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I would say, you know, a lot of people send me inspo pictures on from Pinterest, Instagram, and it's other designers' work
yeah,
too.
sure.
So that comes into play. I'm actually close with a lot of other signage designers through Instagram. We talk,
Sure.
you know, and it's nice to get like tips and, you know, we talk about
Sure.
how to
It's no
handle
different from our
clients
business.
like that. Yeah. And how to also handle when another when your client gives
Once you
you
copycat,
yeah,
shit,
exactly.
so,
When
yeah,
your client wants you to copy somebody else's work. I tell them, you know, I can do something similar to that.
my spin on.
But if they want the exact thing, I will reach out to that signage designer and I will say, "Hey, my client really wants this. Do you mind if we kind of replicate it? I will make sure I tag you. I will make sure I give you the credit for inspiration."
Right.
And a lot of the signage designers, they appreciate that.
Sure.
Because you know, a lot of the things that I create, it's coming from my own mind,
Sure.
you know?
Do you ever have a client that presents you something, this has to be a yes, that you hate?
Yeah.
Like, and again, this is just off the wall questions of
Yeah.
stuff I'm thinking about. So, like, do you, whether this is on or not,
Yeah, yeah.
but like, do you always take their money? Do you say, like, that's not for me? Like,
No. So a lot of there's been a couple events where I'm like, I don't know if we should do that.
right, right.
I don't know if that's gonna look good. But a lot of the times it's my client just seeing something online and they're like, I don't know what to do with this. I like the idea of it, but how can you like
Make it your
make it
own.
better and make it your own? Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of the only time I
That's
run
fair.
into that, you know what I mean?
So here's a fun one that we wrote down. Featured on Philly Mag and Modern Lux Mag. Talk about that.
Philadelphia Wedding Magazine,
Okay.
Modern Luxury Wedding Magazine. I did Philly weddings, bubbly brunch a couple years ago. That was really cool for their they had like a runway and
Sure.
all of that stuff. We did all the signage for that. And then I helped out with Modern Luxury Wedding Magazine's black and white party this past year. That was fun. I got featured in the magazine.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's always fun too when a couple of our other events have been featured in magazines. I've had a couple weddings that were in Philadelphia Wedding Magazine and Modern Luxury Wedding Magazine, which is cool. So it's just, you know, it's like my business is cool. I'm
Yeah, no, I
happy.
mean, it's awesome. Listen, anytime you can kind of like throw your name out there or
Yeah.
get recognition or any of that stuff is like brag away. Like, this is what you poured the blood, sweat, and tears into it
Yeah.
for. So, 4 years in, anything fun, any cool wedding that you did that got any kind of recognition or anything like that that you've done so far?
Yeah, a couple of our events have been in the wedding magazines, Modern Luxury Wedding Magazine, Philadelphia Wedding Magazine. I got to do Philadelphia Wedding Magazine's Bubbly Brunch last year, the year before, and we did all their signage for their runway show. Was really
It's cool.
really fun. We had our light letters there. Um, and Modern Luxury Wedding Magazine, we did their black and white party. I was one of the vendors for that last year. Yeah, it's
It's good
fun. Yeah.
recognition.
Yeah, and then all of the other big events that we've done. I've done some
Any celebrities?
yeah, so I when my business actually first started,
Something
I
fell in your lap?
yeah, I was like, wow, like people in New York City are reaching out to me when I just had the light letter business. So I got hired I got hired by Rock Nation Sports to do the NBA draft in New York City. It was one of their pre-parties at the 4040 Club, which is Jay-Z's club, which is cool.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought I was really cool. Starting my business, going to New York City. Like, how are these people finding me? So that happened, and then I got hired again the year after. And then I got hired again by the 4040 Club for Marcus Stroman's. Used to be the pitcher for the Cubs. I got to make custom light letters for his sneaker company that he launched. And then I got to do a event for Ariana Grande last year for her Brown Beauty line.
You'd think you would have name dropped that sooner in this conversation, but go ahead. Yeah, right. That sounds.
And then what else have I done? I've done an event for Pinky Cole, for her book tour, a couple other
That's cool.
big events.
So
Yeah.
I like knowing what you've done, that you've done multiple different things, because this all takes us back to, what can you help us with brides? What's trendy? What do you love? What do you hate? What are you seeing? And, whether all our guests, from wedding planners to DJs, photographers, and signage people, like, we just want the tea from everybody of like things that you're loving or hating. So is there anything that sticks out that we'll say in the 2025 or 2026 season that you're seeing that is something new that you're loving, or is there anything that you aren't a fan of? And I like throwing you on the spot to ask these questions.
That's okay.
That's not written down.
Yeah, no, I get a lot of inquiries for black and white wedding signage and just plain black and white everything.
I think is luxury the word? Like the
Always
black and white, black tie affair.
very
kind of
black
thing?
tie, very, on brand with that. But I like color. I like
Fair.
fun colors. When the bridesmaids dresses are
Pop.
everything. I just like colorful events. And I wish people would be more comfortable, going out of their comfort zone with patterns and textures and different colors. So I try to,
Open their horizons
open
a little
the
bit.
horizons a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. So let's go trends. What are you loving? What are you hating? Is there things in 2025 or 2026 that you're excited that people are starting to do, or something that you're missing that people aren't anymore?
Yeah, I feel like something that I try to always like keep in mind with my clients is personalize your wedding. Make it about you, how you guys met. That's one of the questions that I always ask my clients, how you met. What's your favorite food that you guys like to eat together? Is there any songs that you guys love that you guys sing together all the time?
So that's them
And
questions.
how can we make those questions
yeah.
into your signage?
Okay.
How can we
I like this.
incorporate those questions into your signage? I've had clients who love the Eagles, and we've made Eagles drink stirs for their drinks. I've had clients that were lawyers. We made the scales of justice on their drink stirs.
Right.
Things like that. This is one of my favorite cocktail napkins that I made for somebody. I had a client where her husband wrote a silly text message to her when they first started dating. It was a funny pickup line, and it
That was on the napkin.
it was just so silly. She took a screenshot of it, and she wanted me to print it on all the cocktail napkins.
I love it.
So they went on all the cocktail napkins for the wedding. Just like silly little things like that.
But that's it.
Mhm.
There's nothing crazy about that.
Yeah.
But it's different. Nobody's seen it. It's a funny inside joke, and it's just something different, cool that you never seen.
Yep, and it's how you can personalize your wedding. Yeah, make it different.
It's so crazy because it's so dumb and simple, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. I've done hundreds of weddings. I see the same shit every single
Yeah.
weekend. Some dumb pickup line.
Yeah.
It's on a cocktail napkin. Like not to take anything away from this pod. This is my favorite thing you've said, and it's so dumb and little. Like, just something I never heard of that is fun, quirky, different.
Yeah.
People will remember it in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool. I love it.
Yeah.
The cocktail napkin.
Yeah.
Pickup line.
Yeah.
Dig it. Patterns, colors, any of that stuff. What are we loving?
Yeah, just like pops of color everywhere.
You're like
patterns.
not so black and white.
Not so black and white. When my clients are like, I just want black and white, black tie, everything black and white flowers. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. But can we do some color? What do you think?
Like you said, I'm a typical guy where, like, I'm gonna be a groomzilla when I get married, and I'm gonna have a lot of say in a lot of things, but
Mhm.
like what the color schemes are, girls' dresses, napkins. I don't give a shit about any of it if I'm being honest. But I
Usually the
also,
bride's
yeah. I mean, I get it's not the guy's, bag, but like it's funny that like I do this pod every week. We have all these conversations. I break things down, and like of all the guests we've had on, I don't want to say that like your niche is probably my least experience of what I'm thinking about. Like again, going back to Gina's wedding, I loved her setup.
Right.
It was dope. But like for me, I'm thinking of 87 other things. And as far as
Yeah.
signage, colors, again,
For
the
example,
napkin I love, but
yeah. For example, Gina's wedding, the venue wouldn't let her take the plants out of the room. So instead of taking the plants out of the room because they were too heavy, they didn't want to move them for the wedding.
okay.
She's like, we need to cover these up. So I made signs to go in front of them. And the signs were just black and white. We put some sconces on it, put their initials on it. We put a cute little quote on it. So if you look at Gina's wedding signage, the signs that are on each side of your DJ booth, they were to cover the plants because
Yeah.
the venue wouldn't let us take the plants out.
Wow. Okay. I can picture exactly what you're talking about now that you say it.
Hmm.
Cool. Again, little things like that. That stuff makes a difference. I mean, it's so funny because we could sit here and talk and like, all right, what's worth talking about? And like, it's, I keep always saying
Yeah.
it's the little things that people don't talk about or think about of
Yeah.
like, there could be someone looking at a venue today that they love the venue, but they hate X, Y, and Z there.
Yeah. And
And
the venue won't let you do
right,
certain
right.
things.
And like, this is
Yeah.
take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And something so similar of, something so simple
Yeah.
of they could maybe get some signs for you to cover said wall or said thing that
Yeah.
boom. And again, this is where I'm learning as we go and have these guests come on because I didn't even think of something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, just silly things, that venues don't let you do sometimes. Like, for example, I have a baby shower coming up next weekend, and one of the girls was like, "You can get in an hour before to set up." And I'm like, "An hour before to set up?
Right.
You can't set up a whole baby shower, all of the design stuff that we have in an hour." So I was like, "The venue can tell you that, but I'll be knocking on their door at 9:30. Like you know what I mean? I'll be there
For what, at 12 o'clock?
yeah.
Exactly.
I'll be there at 9:30, whether they like it or not, whether the venue likes it or not. You know what I mean? She was like, good. The bride was like, good.
So I think I'm going to start asking this to a lot of guests, but like, I guess someone in your position in your business, like you're going to say yes, that you're a fan of wedding planners for all weddings in general, or
Yes. Please hire a wedding planner for all of your vendors' sakes.
I ask because I feel like, I mean, this is also good for you for networking and doing other
Yeah.
things with people, but I'm talking more with guests come on about ghosting vendors. And I also feel like if you work with a wedding planner, I feel like you also might be less likely to be ghosted. At least they'll be blunt and say like, hey, sorry, they went another way, where
Yeah.
other couples just completely ghost you.
Yeah.
We had a guest come on a couple weeks ago. A girl's name's Lindsay. Shout out to Lindsay from the Heartbeats. And she was comparing, ghosting to dating. And newly single over here, like you should be the queen of back in the dating world of the apps and talking to people and ghosting.
Yeah.
But do you experience the ghosting in your field, or where are you at in this whole ordeal of communication? 27 emails, never hear from them again.
Yeah.
And is that not the typical guy conversation, but I mean the typical
Yeah.
client of how do they work
Well,
with you?
ghosting in business and ghosting in dating, I guess. I mean, this is the Mix Behind the Mic podcast, not the Bachelorette, Harry. So we're not going to get into ghosting in dating.
Okay. Lindsay loved the comparison. I think listen, I haven't been around. I've been with my fiance for like 10 years. So like I was never really being in the app pool, but like when she came on and said that, I was just like, this is the greatest comparison ever, because I felt what she said when I have a meeting. I love the connection and vibe. We have 27 emails and then I never talked to him again. I'm just like, what just happened? And when she said that, I was just like, boom, like it just went off. All right, so let's get to almost end of this pod. We're trying to do some rapid fire questions. So
Let's go.
first one, indoor wedding or outdoor wedding?
Outdoor wedding with a Sperry tent.
With a what?
Sperry tent.
Oh, I mean, that's fair. Most underrated wedding detail.
I would say customized seating charts, big, large seating charts so we can have fun with.
You're like big things that you
Let's
can book from me.
build something.
Right, exactly. If you could help design a celeb wedding, who would it be?
Ooh, Haley Page, wedding dress designer in New York City.
Why her?
Because now we're like besties on Instagram. No, no, I've just followed her for a very long time, and now she's planning her wedding. So if you need wedding signage, Haley Page.
Haley Page, shout out. Best season for weddings in your opinion?
I would say the fall.
By far, I agree.
Love the fall.
Yeah, like not even close.
Yeah.
Second to me.
Nothing beats a good fall wedding with good weather.
Longest last name you did for signage?
Actually, recently, Falcarinos. The Falcarinos.
You Italians, Keith.
We spelled out their whole last name in front
How
of the
many
dance
letters
floor.
is that?
A lot.
No, a lot. You're like, yeah, a lot.
Like,
You're like, it's more than 10. Last but not least, do we have anything on here that we didn't talk about that sticks out to you when I scream the line, what aren't people talking about in wedding business? What can we help brides more when they're talking about signage and things they're booking?
I think it's just important to hire a wedding planner. Whether it be, a couple months out, you're working with
Not
one.
your full-blown versus
or full-blown wedding planner, because I feel like it just helps all of the vendors communicate better. It literally will help your day run so much smoother.
And you got one shot, and I can't stress that.
Yeah.
One shot at this.
Yeah, you have one shot at your wedding day. Hire a wedding planner. We know tons of good ones. So if you need recommendations for a wedding planner, ask us, because you need to hire one.
It makes just life so much easier. I wish everyone did it, so
Yes.
I kind of can't agree.
The venue coordinators are not your wedding planner.
And, I'm in a lot of these Facebook bride groups, and it's funny you say that because one of the most common things I see people comment is they're like, well, what's the difference between the coordinator for the venue and having a wedding coordinator? And the number one response is the coordinator at the venue is for the venue. And the wedding planner is for you.
And your wedding planner will have your back.
Right. Yeah. Literally. Right. And the one at the venue has the venue's back.
Yeah.
And they will have your back. So that's actually a great point.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Rachel, from PH Design. We got anything else on here?
No.
Well, I appreciate you coming on.
Me.
We're going to have you come back on again because we're going to blow this up, and we'll bring you back next year, and you can tell us all about part 2 of PH Design.
Part 2 PH Design. Actually, we are bringing back the old name, PH Marquee Letters.
Wait, yes, we'll touch on that next time we bring you back.
Yep,
okay?
But we're bringing it back this year, so we're doing some fun things.
Okay.
So
well, excited glad that we got a little teaser coming for what's come the next.
I'm excited about
you and your business. So,
thanks.
Awesome. Appreciate you having coming on.
Thank you.
This is Rachel from PH Design. I am Harry from The Mix Behind the Mic. We will see you next time. Later.